This is an important video, though, because there is an urgent situation that is affecting potentially the entire online producer community. It's a little frightening, actually.
I was literally on my YouTube dashboard. Next minute, I go do something in my house, whatever. I come back, I refresh my dashboard, and my monetization, like, it was gone.
Let's be honest, you're not gonna find these videos anywhere else. Why? Because I make them. So it would really help me out if you subscribe. If you've already subscribed, what also really helps is if you like the video and leave a comment. It's hard in the era of clickbait videos on YouTube and negativity in the producer community, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Peace, what's going down? It's DJ Payne 1. This is a special emergency broadcast from the World Producer Federation. I got my man Mike Trampe, aka the Producer Whisperer, in here. We got Buddha Vibes here, who I'm just meeting for the first time. This is an important video, though, because there is an urgent situation that is affecting potentially the entire online producer community. It's a little frightening, actually, and channels are getting demonetized. It's not the first time there has been I would say, a crisis relating to producers and the YouTube platform. This has come up time and time again for different reasons, but this time the reason is really clear, and it affected Buddha Vibes, and I'm happy to have you on here so that you can just discuss it head on and let people know what happened. So what did happen? Well, first of all, congratulations, because your channel hit 100,000 subscribers, right? And that's where everything started going wrong.
That's when, yeah, what was supposed to be like a crazy milestone that I've been waiting for like months. It just ended up being like, you know, some like crazy days for me, man. I really trying to reach out to somebody. And
yeah, so what happened exactly?
Like, the thing is, you don't really get much information. Like, I was literally on my YouTube dashboard. Next minute, I go do something in my house, whatever. I come back, I refresh my dashboard, and my monetization, like, it was gone. So I'm like, this got to be wrong. So I go into like into the dashboard where you can actually hit monetization, and I see your channel does not belong to the YouTube partner program anymore. So at that point, I'm like, wow, all right, this is real. You know, it's not a glitch or whatever, it's real. And they gave me like a little reason underneath. It said misleading metadata. You're too much keywords in title, description, or tags. So they give you those three issues. They don't just specify like description. And so from there, I started like just trying to reach somebody. But when you're demonetized, you're not a partner anymore. Therefore, you don't have access to their support anymore. Yeah, so it's like, it's kind of crazy to just get to reach a human. And after like a couple hours of research, I figured out like, okay, they answer on Twitter, because they seem to be pretty reactive on Twitter. So I reached out to them, told them my situation in a couple tweets, and they just tweeted me back some generic stuff and a link to their policies, and just something that's really not even helping you or even telling you what the issue really is. And if you go into YouTube, this is a funny thing, if you go into YouTube and put misleading data or whatever, and you try to find something, all the videos are in Hindi, right? I don't know why. All of them are in Hindi. Try to find one in English is hard. So through some words that I took from these Indian videos, I'm like, all right, it got to be my description, because I saw they were like kind of like pointing it out. Like, you can't have a lot of tags in the description. So I came myself to that conclusion. You know, it's like, it must be the tags in the description. So at this point, I'm like, wow, I have 750 videos in my channel, man. Like, you cannot just bulk change everything, because everything has an individual title, right? And everything has an individual link. So you can't just like bulk change 700 videos. So at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna have to do something about it. So really, the solution that I found was just deleting my whole description, deleting all the keywords that I had, because I had the 5,000 keywords filled out. I just deleted all that. My SEO plummeted to like 10%. Yeah, that's true. But I did that on all my videos. It took me like 10 hours. I sat here all day just changing videos. And after that, I'm like, all right, now I've got to have a chance of coming back into this monetization program. I've changed my issue. This got to be something. This got to be the issue with it, right? So what I did from there is I looked in Gmail and Google for some of their emails. There's creator support emails, but sometimes they don't answer back. So I emailed it like 25 times, man. I don't know how much times I emailed it, man. Like a lot of times. And in my emails, I was telling them, like, I've read through your policy, and misleading metadata is something that will mislead the viewer, right? It's something that will, if you put Beyonce naked, whatever, that's misleading the viewer. But all my tags were relevant for the exact video that was on. So I'm like, even if I have a few tags, it's not misleading in any type of way. So I don't see what the real issue is, right? So I reached out to them. I stated all these things. I was like begging for somebody to revise this channel again, revise this case again. There's got to be a mistake. I've taken out all these keywords from the description, and I got an email back that same night from a guy named, I can't remember, like from YouTube support, and he was like, well, I'm aware of your case right now, and I can see that this is a very important issue for you, so I'm going to escalate this. Be assured I'm going to escalate this. So this person actually was the one that really helped me out. Like this person was the one that came along and like really helped me out. Because after that, next day I woke up and my channel was monetized again after that. But if you don't have that luck and you get demonetized right away, you have to wait for a month. And then you gotta wait for another month for them to approve you, you know. So that's a crazy process.
Oh, so you would otherwise have to have started the application for the YouTube Partner Program all over again?
No, you don't start it all over again. Like right now, I've got my AdSense and everything linked.
But I mean, if you hadn't gotten a hold of somebody, would you have had to start over again?
Yeah, you gotta wait for a month, and then you gotta put your channel under revision, and then if you don't even know what the issue is or haven't changed it, you'll be denied again, and then you'll have to do this constantly, and it's 2 months of revenue that you're losing. At this point, it's not small things, you know.
Can I ask you, if you don't mind, were you making a lot of revenue off of the partner program?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gross from combined with sales. Some months it goes over sales, but you know, it's pretty much solid income. You know, it's something that you will not want to lose, or that, you know, that you'll fight for it, you know.
So I want people to understand what exactly you mean by tags and description. So let's take that same beat, drip drip. What kind of beat was that? Did you use a type beat, or what did you use exactly to describe it in the title?
All my beats, I put hard trap beat.
Okay.
Let me put my title right here. I put hard trap beat, freestyle trap beat, 2021 trap beat instrumental.
And I'm guessing that your actual tags, the tags that they give you, are matching that too, right? So you have the title that correlates with the tags, like the actual tags you're allowed to use, that correlates what back over to the description, and then what are you using in the description? Like, give me an example for that beat. What did you have running for that whole description?
I have hard trap beat, hard trap instrumental, dark trap beat, dark freestyle instrumental, hard trap beat, 2021 free trap beat, hard. I got these words in 20,000 different ways, really. Like, it's just.
So you're hitting every variation, right? And that was the overall issue. Hitting all these different variations. There's no method to the madness. It's just copy and paste all these different terms, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So there's like it's just like a block of tags. It's not a real description. So like what they're trying to focus now, to my understanding, you know, what they're really trying to focus on, because since I changed it, I've been back into the program, is the actual description. They want it to be something that's either something that's describing it genuinely, or just nothing. Your download link and your little hashtags or whatever. Because if you do this like bulk of tags, it's gonna take it as misleading metadata, even though if the tags are relevant to the video. Because all my tags were relevant, even though it was a bulk, but it wasn't even like Gunna type beat or whatever. Because I never put like Gunna type beat or stuff like this. Always try to keep it to the same words as the title and as the keywords.
Yeah, I wish they would change their description of, because this is the problem with YouTube. Their policies are really vague. And so you're arguing semantics, because obviously your tags were not misleading or irrelevant. they were actually helpful to whoever was searching for that type of beat. And so therefore, on a semantic level, there was no reason for them to demonetize your channel. What they need to just come out and say is, do not put X amount of keywords in your description. That would make life so much easier for everybody.
Yeah, of course.
That's terrifying, because you never know. They can change their policy. I mean, it's their right. It's a private company. They can do whatever they want. And then trying to get a hold of someone is nuts. I feel lucky too when my channel hit 100,000 and no one contacted me for a long time. I think after weeks of waiting, I reached out directly and someone got back to me right away. But again, like you said, Buddha, I was a part of the partner program, and so I got immediate access to support. If I didn't, I don't know what would have happened, but that's how I was able to get the plaque right away for 100,000. Did you end up getting your plaque?
I'm in the process of that right now. Like, I emailed today and I've asked them, since I'm back in the program, I need my code. Could I please get my code? How long is it going to take? And they emailed me back. They told me that they're still revising the case, whatever, the case number, whatever, and that I'll get an answer shortly. You know, it's not much, but I'm hoping that I get it, because honestly, I've never even paid for ads, you know. So I have everything since I uploaded, like drip started going up, like just organic every single day. I've never even ran ads. So
Payne, do you use those tags in your description, or did you at all ever?
Do you have any other questions? I definitely know. So here's my concern, because I definitely know of channels that are currently, big channels that are currently using that tag stuffing method. And from my perspective, it was always okay because they were relevant keywords, and it wasn't excessive. It wasn't like I'm stuffing whoever we're talking about here is stuffing the description with thousands of keywords. It's you know, the allowed amount, which I don't see the problem of, but clearly YouTube sees that problem. And I remember, and I forget who it was. It was like Othello. It was someone like that I interviewed recently that tweeted, maybe, I don't know, sometime over the summer, they tweeted, YouTube is changing their policy, so now producers can't stuff their descriptions with keywords. I need to figure out who said that.
We need to get that screenshot up here, right?
I read it back then. I read it back then, and I reached out to a friend of mine that got a big channel too, and he's like, "No, bro, I've been doing it for years, and me myself, I have been doing it for 2-3 years and never had an issue with it. It's just like some people might even get away with it, you know. Some people get away with murder, whatever. But it's if they catch you with the revision,
yeah,
they're gonna demonetize you for sure, because there's no reason why they're gonna like targeting me or whatever. That's not gonna happen. They're also gonna do you too. So you're building, like, this whole time you're building subs, you're making beats, you're putting them on your channel every day. This is work, man. I was to just hit something and get your monetization off and not, almost with no explanation, you know, and just trying to get a hold of somebody human to talk to, because a machine won't understand you. A machine won't understand, but hey, please, I need to revise this case again. You need to talk to a human, right? And this is not possible as soon as you're cut off from the program. It's not that it's not possible. It's just really hard.
Yeah,
it's just really hard. It will take you like a bunch of emails, dozens of emails. It'll take you tweets. It'll take you. And the notification, I've tried to send like 100 of them on my app. It doesn't work. That I don't know where those notifications go, but not to nobody. So really, it's a thing that you're left, like, if this is your income, you're left with no explanation, no income, and having to wait to apply again. Really, that's all it is.
Do you think this happened just because you hit 100K? You think they did a review on your channel, saw it, and then flagged it?
When I was researching, I seen some people happen to him, and the guy had like 62K. So it could be a random thing. I'm not really sure about that. For a fact, when you hit 100%, you hit a revision. So there, for a fact, they're gonna catch you. It's like you can run a bit, but You're not gonna hide, you know.
I want to raise one more point. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off because I don't want to forget this. And it was something I think we were all talking about, prior to this call when we first all kind of connected. Because just so everybody has full transparency, I talk to a lot of producers in the community, and Buddha's on the publishing roster. He's also a Beatstars member, and we talk. So when Buddha reached out to me with this concern, he was genuinely concerned. So obviously, the first thought I had was like, this could be really bad for a lot of people. I didn't make that tweet in that post to scare anyone, but I also kind of did because I think it is something they really need to take a look in the mirror. But then obviously I was like, yo, Payne needs to talk about this because I value Payne's opinion and everything he brings to the table. And he has a great audience who really can benefit from this information. So that's kind of how this all came together. But we were talking prior and, I've always questioned why producers did this and not wrote out like a journalistic approach or editorial approach to the description. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but to give you an example, so with your drip chip, hard trap beat, whatever it's called, instead of putting all those tags in there, like I feel like that's what a description's for you to describe what this is. So say this is a hard trap beat that I could hear Lil Baby and Drake on. Like this type beat could work with, I don't know, like, and writing it out in that format and giving it more of an editorial description. I feel like that's what people should be doing instead of just jamming stuff in. But again, if it's worked for people, they're gonna keep doing it.
That's what YouTube's advocating for us to do too.
Yeah, I think they are, man. It just makes sense.
There's nobody out there that tells you. There's just really nobody out there that will tell you, hey, like, all right, you can put tags in your videos for a year, 2 years, but eventually you're gonna hit a milestone. God willing, maybe you don't. And that's what I thought, man. If I would have stayed at 90,000 subs, I would have just been monetizing my whole life.
Yeah.
But you want to hit milestones, right? And you want them to keep going. So when you hit a milestone with a rocket in it, for something that you don't even know that's been that's wrong, it's really not. It's not nice, especially if you can just like get the information from now on and evade that situation.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting then. All right. To I guess counter what Mike is saying. The keyword stuffing you said actually worked, and now that you stopped doing it, your rankings have gone down.
It actually does, man. Like I can tell you from the little wheel ranking on TubeBuddy, straight up, I had 95, 100 on every single video when I had these tags on. I took the tags off. Like the first description I put had like 20% SEO. I'm like, no, man, that's like really bad. So I tried to work my way around that. I try to like implement as much times as I could the word trap beat in my description, but in a way that's not like, just a block of tags, in a way that's actually like, in this channel, you will find hard trap beats, dark trap beats, varying from 100 to 200 beats. So that's an actual description, right?
Yep.
It's not like just like sticking words next to another, especially with the little coma thing. When you just have like word coma, and it's all like the same generic tag, that's really what's going to be an issue with it. But like Mike said, if you can, there's ways to work around it. I'm not saying like you cannot have the word trap beat or trap instruments on your tag. There's just ways to have it, because if you have it in this way of a block tag, it will be an issue. But if you try to implement these words into some description, there's an actual description, the words are still going to be there, and it's not going to be seen as an issue, right?
Yeah, I just worry that at some point YouTube is going to look at that and say, "Oh, this is clearly just their workaround for keyword stuffing."
But then what are we going to do? I'm not going to describe my content then. Like,
yeah, you do. I get that.
Thing.
Yeah,
that's not describing my content at all. It's the next thing, like not being able to.
Now, if you're like, I made this hard trap rap beat 2021-22 hard rap trap beat, yeah, I think. But I mean, if you're generally talking about something and I had a lot of fun making this, I made it on this or whatever I use, like, and you're actually starting to throw different things in there, I think that's like, dude, I don't see how that wouldn't work. I mean, that's what it's there for. That's what the description's there for.
That's what I'm actually trying right now. I'm actually on my new descriptions. I have just a little sentence, a little part of it that says, on this channel, you will mainly find hard trap beats, rap instrumentals, freestyle trap beats, varying from 120 to 200 BPM. That's my way of just putting that in there, and hoping, because I don't know what's right or wrong, hoping that this won't be an issue, because I need I need to increment my SEO at some point. You know, I can't just take everything, have a bad SEO, and that's gonna result in worse ranking in your search, less views. That's gonna be less sales. So it's really a problem for that. If you don't take it from the ground, it's gonna go all the way up. You know.
Well, let me ask you this then. Since you've stopped stuff in your descriptions with keywords, have your views gone down? Has your watch time gone down? What were the effects of that on your channel overall?
I can show you right now. I can show you on my phone. Like, for example.
Because I think what's really amazing is that even works. You know, because we never know what's actually going to work with YouTube.
Dude, I don't think YouTube knows. That's the crazy thing. I don't think they know.
85,000 views the last 48 hours.
It's a little blurry, but I can see it.
Oh, all right. 85,000 views. That's like the last 48 hours, right? This is a very low number. Like December the 1st, when my normal number is 100,000 on every per 48 hours. That's the normal number. So already in 2-3 days, I'm seeing a 20,000 number change. You know, so I cannot tell you. I'm not an expert in this. I can just tell you what's happening to myself, and it's going down. Like my views on my beats on average, everything is like 10K on average. Everything more 30, 40, but on average, minimum under 10K, I rarely have stuff. Now I'm not breaking 10K, man, since this happened.
Crazy.
So I don't know what to say, man, but for me, it's having some kind of effect.
I don't think YouTube knows, honestly. I really don't think they know, because they didn't make YouTube for producers. YouTube and producers didn't really come together until 2012 or 13. I forget. I did the type beat history on Google Trends. Mm-hmm. So at some point, somebody said, how can we put our beats up here? I mean, honestly, it's pretty dope. Producers are pretty smart people, right? Like, they found this way to manipulate. If I type in Drake, I get a Drake video. But if I add type beat or anything else like that to kind of get around it, like, it's going to push it to that content. So listen, YouTube doesn't care, man. We're very, very small fish in a very big pond when it comes to creators. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense for them to give a shit. Like, straight up, without going into too much detail, like, we've had conversations. So I just don't think they care. And I think it's like they reviewed your channel at 100K. They saw it. They're like, nope, we're addressing it. So I don't think they're actively going out, pulling people's stuff down off of this. But I think if you're growing, you get some eyes on you. And speaking from somebody who works in like a platform, we might not see something now, but we might see it 6 months from now. And you have to address it from a platform perspective. So I'm just speaking from that. So I understand kind of probably why they do certain things. But the easy solution that unfortunately I don't think will ever happen is they dedicate some people to this whole entire community to really help and really empower. But again, they're not going to do that. So we're kind of.
You would think they would, because there's a whole YouTube music division now.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Of course, you play into it because a ton of these hit records are being created from YouTube,
from their channel.
Yeah,
bro. When we get placements on Beatstars, what are we screaming? Beatstars this, Beatstars that, made on Beatstars. Like, SoundCloud doesn't do it. I don't see like a lot of these platforms doing it. So that is the difference with us, you know, with Beatstars and everybody else. But I'm just saying, like, they should be empowering what is being created on their platform. But
yeah, because YouTube is a part of that equation. That's what I'm saying.
You know,
a lot of it's Beatstars, but it's also YouTube. So why wouldn't they celebrate?
That's what I mean.
Like, what I see that's really like a bit strange is that they treat this with more of an importance than a copyright strike. So you can have a copyright strike on your channel and have it just there, not demonetized, whatever. Just remove the video.
Mm-hmm.
Have tag in the description, directly monetized, demonetized, directly. No questions asked, whatever, figure it out yourself. So how are they giving more importance to like stuff that's copyright, which is basically, I don't know, like taking other people's music and trying to monetize, whatever. They're giving more importance to this type of stuff than to that, you know?
They view it as spamish, probably, man. Are there any other industries that are doing this stuff in comments? I mean, I'm sure there are. But I don't have enough, education on it or information to know to accurately say that's happening. But I'm assuming it is. But is it happening at the level that's happening in the producer community? I'm sure there's creators that are trying to manipulate stuff, but producers are really trying to find whatever secret sauce they
Well,
can.
yeah, because it sucks, right? Well, this is me speaking out of my own frustrations with my YouTube platform. My views are rough. I'm not a fan of the way my YouTube channel is growing, and I have well over 100,000 subs. So I'm trying to figure out anything like all those conspiracies about those Russian engagement groups. I'm like, yeah, get me in that.
It's a shame.
There's a lot of big channels that have like decreased in views, and like a lot of people don't know what's really happening. Even myself, I'm down to 50%. Back in like February, March, I was in like 2.3 million views. Now I'm on like 1.2 million views per month. So something has happened, really. I don't know if it's just the amount of new channels coming in, because there is an amount of new channels that have like 6 videos. And really, I don't know what's going on with these channels. They have like a picture with just like some colored circle, whatever. They have 8 videos on YouTube, and each video is literally viral. And you might think, all right, these are fake views, these are bots. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But when you actually click on these videos, like an ad pops up. So it's like they're monetizing this content. There's things that really just don't add up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I've been following some of these channels, and they seem to get a lot of interaction when they come in, and then they just start to like a fall, like a steep fall, and they just boom, die into there. And it's just really happening with a lot of people that their channel is just going down, and it's really a matter of, we got to take in perspective that COVID and all that and all these news, like when I started growing a lot was during the lockdown. That was when I started getting a lot of views. Yep. So now I can understand, all right, in my country at least there's no lockdown, so my views are not going to be as much as that. But there has to be something else too, man. There has to be something else, which maybe it's just not getting shared enough by the algorithm, or nobody knows that algorithm. Yeah. Nobody knows that. Nobody will ever know that what happens there. But there's definitely something weird, man. Like, for real.
No.
I think we can all agree on that. It's definitely something weird.
Yeah.
There really
even
is.
Big channels that got like 500K subscribers, they're posting beats and they're getting like 10K per video, which you might think, wow, that's a lot of numbers, but for a 500, 400, 300K, even for a 100K channel, it's not good. It's less than 10. It's 10%, less than 10% engagement.
Yeah, that's about my ratio. So. Yeah, but then like you're saying, I'm seeing new producers' channels that maybe only have 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, and they're getting 10, 20, 50, 100,000 views consistently on other videos.
Rotating in new talent? Is it a cycle? Every few months they rotate some new talent in?
That's what really happened to me, because like when I had 14, 15K, I put up a few beats that were like trap, club rap type of beats, and from there I had never seen those type of numbers on my videos ever. Every beat was 20,000, 30,000. I was like, oh my god. But then my CPM was really low, started growing with time. So now with less views, with half the views, I get like 5 times the revenue just because of CPM, really.
So that's a good point. So 20,000 views on a new channel might not amount to actual sales or money,
or even a high CPM. Like if you have a CPM of 0.40, a million views can make you $400. And I've been there with my when I started making reggaeton beats. Like Latin America's a really low CPM, and for a million views, I think it was not even $500. So that's why I shifted to like the trap beat stuff.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's
something I don't think we've talked about.
No, CPM does vary a lot. Like depending on your audience, like USA obviously is one of the best paid CPMs, right? It's like 4 point something, at least on my channel. So that means you're gonna get around $4,000 per million views, per million monetized views. All right, that's also what a lot of people don't understand. They think like all your views are being monetized, and it's not really like that. There's a lot that are not, So the higher CPM, obviously, the more you're making. but you can have a very high CPM and very. I've seen this on some beauty channels of one of my friends, a girlfriend, right? She had a really low views, but she had her CPM was like 25 or something. So it means for every million views, she would be getting like 25 grand. You know, that's crazy. And mostly because the views come from like, they were from the States and from Malta. So like, whatever country you're getting your views from is really going to affect how much money you're making in the end of the day. It's crazy.
Yeah, I want to summarize this whole.
What do we do? Yeah, what are we telling producers to do? Just be careful, and if you can,
what I would like to tell the people, like whoever's putting beats on YouTube and you're actually growing right now, and you're starting to hit 20, 30, 40, 50K subscribers, and you're looking forward to that milestone, really look that you're doing it. Like, look with a magnifying glass, man, because these policies, they're going to look at your channel. They're really going to look at your channel detailedly. So if you're doing wrong stuff like I've been doing, and like thousands of us, maybe millions of us are doing without even knowing, you're going to have an issue. And I fixed it reasonably fast, but I've heard and I've read a lot of cases. You can go on Google and read a lot of cases of people that have been denied like 3 or 4 times monetization. And that means half a year making no money. Plus, when you come back, that's going to take a big toll on your channel. So that's, if after 6 months of like no monetization, that's pretty much like, that's a hard hit. So just really look that you have everything in shape and make sure that you're going to get your accomplishments safely, because it really is going to really hurt you. Just the psychological fact, you know, that all this work for a hit, you know.
Yeah, and that applies to every platform too. So just be careful, period, because these platforms, this is something that we talk about all the time. These platforms own you and your content. It's not the other way around.